Another week. Welcome to another live stream, another unboxing. I am Justin the Zilla. Made it through another week, barely surviving. Everything going on, but you know, still been recovering. As I think I mentioned last week, still have a little back problem, so definitely gonna try to take it more easier this weekend. And just so y'all know, in case I'm like gone out of camera or I turn off my camera or mute my mic, I'm adjusting so I can be comfortable. I'm pretty decent right now, but yeah, but just kind of been home most of the week. I've been just recovering, so I just put in time for work. I was like, I don't think I can do my job, so I'm gonna be home for a bit, which kind of sucks because it's an injury from work, so whatever. Our freaking our healthcare system. Sorry, I hate to get fucking all weird. I'm only a minute in. I shouldn't be cursing. But in any case, just been chilling, trying to just do what I can, make it through the days. So hopefully by next week, hopefully I'm like feeling all the way back to better where I can do stuff. But I don't know. Time will tell. We shall see. But in any case, ready to talk about toys, ready to chill out and talk with those who want to tune in. But yeah. Any updates? No weekly pickups. Haven't really been out that much. Haven't really gotten any figures. I went to like Walmart like earlier this week. I think it was like yesterday or like Wednesday. No, it was like yesterday. And that was even like a lot for my back, but I was like, okay. I went outside for the first time in like, feels like 2 weeks of trying to do stuff as a human. But, you know, not too bad, but just getting through the day as much as we can. But yeah, what else? Yeah, so no weekly pickups, but do have a couple little things to show off. So of course, first thing, as we had our Mario Galaxy stream last year, and I finally got the shorts down. The one for the Kino and Foot Soldier 2-pack, so that's up, and then also that Mario Galaxy, those 3 figures with Yoshi, Bowser Jr., and Rosalina. So those are up. So go check those out if you haven't already. But thank you for the support on those 2 videos already. Like I think the Mario Galaxy one already has like 1,000 views, and I just uploaded that like this morning. So I'm like, thank God. The algorithm works for that, I guess. But, you know, pretty cool. And then speaking of, did see the actual movie, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I saw that on Tuesday. So that was fun, because that's always like the day that all my buddies and I are able to go see a movie, because that's how it's always been. And then also our local theater does a Taco Tuesday kind of thing. So where it's originally I think it was like $4, like $5, but now it's like $6. So still a pretty decent price for getting tickets for that day. Had to kind of like push back at first. I thought I would have had to gone like super late based on what the schedule is. Based on like because my friend that I went to go see it, he was like, probably sometime after 5 is when I'm going to be available. And I'm like, okay, we can see. And so originally it was going to be at like 7:30. And then he was like, oh, work is actually only going to keep me until like 2. And I was like, okay, great. We'll go for 3:30. And so I got tickets at 3:30. And then he was like, they're not letting me leave. I have to wait until like 3, like right on 3. And so he was like, I'm not going to be back in town in time to see it at 3:30. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, and so he was like, how about you try to get tickets for later? And we did. So we went to the showing at what, like at 4:25. So pretty cool. Pretty nice. So, and the movie was fun. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, just a lot of dumb fun. Of course, not very plot heavy. I think that was like a big criticism when it comes to most people and critics. but I'm kind of like, I don't really expect too much. I was just like, okay, I'm here to watch this movie and see it for what they have been showing it in any case. So it's not really something I was really too concerned about. I was like, I know this looks great. And it has the video game stuff, but it would have been nice to have I guess a more coherent story where you're just not jumping in between different things happening. And I don't want to spoil too much of that movie, but it was just a fun time. It was nice. Not really a whole lot of, I would say, kind of like major character moments. You get like little ones, excuse me, like here and there, but not a whole lot. But still, a fun movie. Honestly, probably can wait till streaming if you really kind of like, okay. Yeah, if you really expect them to have like a whole story and like a narrative and everything, this isn't, the movie for that. It's just for fun. It's just to be like, oh, they're doing the Mario thing. They're doing the thing. Who else is in this movie? A whole lot. A whole lot of different characters are in this movie, and they're kind of fun. So, pretty cool. What else? Oh yeah. I did bring the Bowser Jr. figure with me. because I was like, I gotta bring something. It's my guy. I love me my Bowser Jr. and he was like one of the best parts of the film, in my opinion. I mean, he was so badass with the full, kind of like the purplish kind of form he had with the flame hair and with the mask on. It was so cool, and how he like used the brushes like different weapons. So that was cool. Mario and Luigi were fine. Mario, it's still Chris Pratt. I'm just like, okay, whatever. He wasn't really doing too much of a Mario thing. He was just being Chris Pratt. And I'm like, all right, not really that big of a deal. But he was still doing little Mario stuff here and there. And then, of course, Charlie Day as Luigi. Loved him. I think he had a better spotlight within this movie a little bit more, which was nice. And makes me want them to do a Luigi's Mansion movie. Kind of like, okay, give me that. That would be cool. I want to see that. And then, who else? Oh, Donald Glover as Yoshi. Probably one of the favorite parts, or one of the favorite characters. Like, he was still kind of like not really that significant, but still a cool character, had fun moments. And nice to see that. And then Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Still kind of on the back burner, but, he has his moments, because I think he's with... Is he with Peach, or is he with Mario? I think at first he's with Peach, and then they all kind of meet up. And I'm not gonna spoil too much, because I hate the fact that they kind of spoiled like some characters, and I'm like, why would you show that? You should, have confidence that people want to go see your movie without knowing this stuff. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But oh well. But then there was like one major cameo. I was like, oh, I did not see that coming. And that was at like near the very end of the film, and like another twists of some kind. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And I expected it, but I was just like, yeah, this is badass. I want to see this. So yeah. So Mario movie was fun. Definitely plan on, I don't know what other characters they could make from the movies. I know they still have the Mario and Luigi. Mario's out now. I don't know what's going on with Luigi's figure. Haven't seen that anywhere, but they come with the little, the Lumas, the little star kids. But kind of debating on getting those. I don't know. Maybe at a discount. Maybe I'll finally get them at that time. But for now, not on the priority when it comes to figures. And I'm looking at them, as you can see. Well, you can't see. Are they in focus? Well, they're at that table, back over in that corner. But cool figures. And then Brie Larson as Rosalina. She was cool. She wasn't very much in the film, to be honest, but still, her moments, that she was there, it was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So hopefully we'll get her maybe a little bit more more in the third film, and then of course they teased for for the third film. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we'll see what goes on there. But yeah, but I'm trying to think of what other characters without like spoiling they could do. Cause so far we got Bowser, we got Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Rosalina, Yoshi, Bowser Jr., and then I also have the cat Mario, but then I know there's the Tanuki suit, like the raccoon suit Mario. And then there's also like the racing Peach in her biker uniform from the first movie. But then for Mario Galaxy, there's not very much. Maybe some of like the villain characters, maybe like I think you have like that rat guy with the sunglasses, and then Birdo, and then like the big frog king looking dude. So maybe like those three would be cool to add, but we'll kind of see. And then also I still got the Bowser Jr. with the clown car, or the clown thing. So that'll be something to look forward to. It's definitely okay. I'm planning to open that probably sooner than later. Also, I have a thing I gotta show off. But I plan to show off that set probably at the end of the month, because I'm still kind of high on the Mario thing. So I'm like, might as well do it. End off the month with that. So, oh yeah. And then one last thing I wanted to show off. My brother. I don't know what this card game is, but he pulled like this little card, or found it. Spectacular Spider Token. I don't know what this is. I guess it's like a spider-based card game, but I think he saw that and saw like it's like Spider-Man, so he gave that to me, and I have it in a basic sleeve, but pretty nice. So it's two first, and then a green creature with reach. So this acrobatic arachnid leaps into action to block creatures with flying. No web is even needed. Art by Hunter Smith. So cool art. So it's kind of like, it feels like Magic, but it's spiders, whatever. And then on the back have a cool little black and white kind of skull and bones look there for him. Spider reach. So pretty cool. And then art by Hunter Smith. So awesome little card. Just another neat little thing to add to my little card collection. So thank you to my brother Jacob. He's a freaking badass. Go check out his music on Bandcamp. Go check out his Instagram. I think it's either just Jacob Rollins or it's Julia Blues or something like that. I forget what it is. My memory is awful. Basic things are just there. But check him out. I think he's got a Bandcamp. You'll find him. It's easy. Water break. All right. Woo. All right. But yeah, so nothing very much else really to talk on. The wall, still the same. Nothing's happened here. Expect kind of the stuff maybe to go sooner than later if I'm feeling open to it. Because I've been trying to, as I mentioned before, I think the previous 2 or 3 times I have planned out my whole stream, kind of like a schedule for like the next like few months. Okay, here. What goes down? What's kind of gonna be our plot point for for opening stuff and doing stuff? So time will tell, and so will my body, I guess. It's breaking down. This back is killing me, brother. Okay. See, I'm just trying to sit up straight and be comfortable, but with this shirt and with this mic kind of in the way, it keeps like bumping my chin because I keep moving, and then the shirt wants to go super high up. I kind of prefer like that, kind of like a V-neck thing, but then pretty much just doing its own thing. So I just gotta move this. Maybe that'll be a bit better. Maybe, I don't know. It feels better right now, but yeah, but nothing very much kind of figure pickup wise this week. Just kind of just seeing Mario Galaxy, the Mario Galaxy movie, which was fun, and then just kind of chilling out, getting prepared for this week, for this stream. And so I think we're just gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, and also repping the red for our boy that we're looking at. So I'm gonna switch this camera over, get to looking at the CT Toys Daredevil. Let's go. Yeah, that should not be in frame. Kind of scoot this to the side, get all this lined up, because as usual, it's never just perfect the first try that I'm doing this. There we are. There he is. All his plastic glory. Hold on, I'm going to mute my mic real quick. All right, and we're back. Just adjusting, trying to get comfortable. Trying to actually do this so it's not all chaotic. But like how it was last week, because I had no idea what I was doing, because I was not playing very well yesterday. Well, last week. But this week I wanted to make sure I'm actually able to do this and not hurt myself, or have the potential to have to deal with it. But yeah, cool little figure. Looks really cool. Of course, this is based off of the original Mafex figure done by Medicom Toys, but of course it's been a while. But as we know, CT Toys has been doing both kind of figure arts and Mafex figures, more so in the Marvel variety, or Spider-Man variety too, for sure. Doing their kind of like their rework, kind of like their own factory made stuff. So where, quality probably in plastic isn't the top tier. Paint has actually been pretty decent. The last few ones haven't been amazing, but but we're getting these import, essentially quality level figures at a cheaper price, even if they're not always top tier for QC issues. But as you can also see, also does say here because of the copyright stuff, so you don't have any of like Marvel or like Medicom or anything. You just have the CT logo for CT Toys Daredevil, instead of Daredevil, because they take off the little thing for the L, so it's just I. Comic version action figure. Nice little promo, promo art from the original packaging. And this is, I think, just all basically taken from the original packaging figure, just missing all your copyright logo stuff, so where everything's kind of moved around a bit. Have nice little artwork there from the comics of Daredevil, looking all buff and shadowy as hell. Looks badass. Yeah, number 223, 6-inch CT Toys. And you see the actual figure in there of all this accessories. At the top, have a nice little, kind of headshot of Daredevil, or Daredevil. And then the double D logo. Have the same kind of headshot there. Have a nice little, promo art of the original figure, Daredevil. DD. Oh yeah, I also enjoy that they have like this comic kind of spot pattern. So where you have reds, you got black, and you got brown, and then all brown there with the little blue on the back with these line details of kind of very much comic booky. And then Daredevil, and then he's like, I can't believe they're calling me Daredevil, or whatever. And then at the bottom, have your warning, ages 5 and plus, this little thing here. I don't know what that means. All this, whatever's going on there. It's like the whole warning and notice thing, but you can barely even read it because it's red, with little, it's little red circles with your black dots. So these are warnings and stuff, but you can barely even read it. All right, and then on the back have the same Daredevil right there, number 223. Comic version action figure. Have your little showcase of everything, and then like your little checklist, but it's all in Japanese, so too bad. But all your things just showing off the actual promo images from the figure. So warning, ages 15 up, product may differ from photo. Little Rigby, hello. Well, welcome to the live stream. We're looking at the CT Toys Daredevil, or Daredevil, if you will. There he is. We're gonna grab my little toolkit. Just ordered the CT Toy Batman. Okay, nice. Is that the like where that's the Mayfex, like the Hush, correct? Is that what that one is? I believe so. There's our trusty X-Acto blade. And I assume it's is it the black version or the blue version? Because I have been kind of like maybe thinking about getting one of those, but just kind of does not my cup of tea specifically. Black? Okay. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about, because I don't know if they've even, I assume they've done I assume they have done a blue version, but I have just been seeing that black one because that's their latest one, of course, but easy enough. Get this guy out. Oh yeah, and I forgot, even on the inside of these boxes, you do have some nice comic art, kind of the same art that you see here. Nice old dynamic, what does that say? A radar sense. Superhero down there. Hershey, a chocolate bar. What the heck? Well, little just comic panels. Very cool, very nice. Just set that aside. We got our Daredevil and all his plastic glory, including the stand. So we'll look at this first. Oh, my camera. Alright, but comes in a little baggie, I assume. This is also what's included with the original Mayfex, because I believe the Gambit also comes with one. The Gambit one that I opened most recently, well, beginning of the year. back then. But there's all of our parts and pieces. So there's our just actual little base piece there. Feels pretty solid. And then have your little arm here that articulates all three of these ends here, or your two ends, and then your one middle. All over there. Just easy enough. Sits in there. Let me actually like show you what's actually going on instead of not showing it. Be like, oh, look at this. And then have your little attachment piece here that has the two holes on there. And I think that's where these guys come in. And then actually reminds me, I probably will use my little snip tools for these guys. Don't know. Yeah, I'm always like a little worried because I'm like, I don't want to screw this up, but sometimes you just gotta just go for it. Especially on camera, because it's really hard to make sure that you're being able to see this. You got it, yeah. Appreciate it. Rigby. Is that it? No, I put it in backwards. Okay. Maybe, yeah, maybe I don't got it. Trying to figure out. Okay, I don't think it really matters too much. As long as it's on there, that's all that matters, so. It's like doing model kits. Kind of worries me. I'm like, hopefully I'm not gonna like cut everything open, but no. There's our one little piece of trash. First one of the bunch. I don't think I'll be needing my tools, thankfully, anymore, so probably just quickly put those away, but we'll complete our little stand here. It's no biggie, yeah, but if you cut it, TBH, says Rigby. Yeah, I mean, correct. I'm just always like, I just want to make sure. Because I'm an idiot. Man. I'm for that later. Okay. But you know, I always just want to make sure. But there it is. Just your kind of basic stand there. Still actually pretty solid despite being a third-party version of this. So it can actually hold its own weight pretty easily. So that's cool. And the, and the joints are actually like pretty tight on here. In the middle could be a little more tighter, but at the top and the bottom, they're pretty good. And then, of course, you have the two little clamp arms that just go in and out, as they both do. So pretty good. And then, of course, rotate there, or even you can rotate at the base. Simple. Just your basic kind of Mafex style stand, or just action figure stand in most cases. So pretty nice to always have, even for a third-party figure. So yeah, we will go ahead and get this guy open. I think how I want to do this, I think we'll go over our accessories first. I think we'll start with our hands, then our heads, and then all of our weapons, and then we'll get into actual figure and then get to mess with them. So get them down there. Bring our camera up. You can see literally all that, but all of that I own. And then back down to Mr. Daredevil. Off our front tray here. There's that plastic. To the ether. All right. And honestly, not too bad looking. Just out of the packaging. Looks a bit dusty. Might need to get a little heat on there, but we'll see. So first up, our first pair of hands. Let me make sure those are the right way. Bruh. Ooh. If only I didn't have to grab them. But there's our yeah, we got two splayed out hands with some little glove texture, and I assume that's going to be on every other of a little thing here, but has your hole ports there, so just your two open splayed hands there. Next, have your, what are they gonna do like this? Have your two kind of grabbing hands, I guess you would say, or just kind of like your hands. I don't know. I guess grabbing. I would call that grabbing. And then have your pair of holding hands, which are basically just fists, but they have the hole goes through them. So, of course, that's going to be very useful here with our Daredevil, knowing his weapons. Then we have our two flat palm hands. Still have a lot of that nice, actually, kind of like glove costume texture, which is nice to see those wrinkles and stuff in there. So, pretty cool. And then our last set of hands, I can get them out. Gonna be our little kind of just more relaxed hands than anything. Nothing really to go in there. They just sit there by his side naturally like that. So pretty cool, pretty nice. And I believe this is all basically new. It's kind of like, you know, I think each character, they always have a unique hand. And I'm talking about more with Metacom, with how they do their characters. Like compared to like a Spider-Man, like if they did like another different Spider-Man, then it's the same hands, but maybe different variations or versions. But Daredevil, you know, he gets his own little set because they're just all red. I wonder if the Scarlet Spider, yeah, if their Mayfix actually would work with the hands on this. But we'll see. Because these are actually a really nice little set here. And then getting to our other more specialty accessories, or our most standard ones. First, we have Daredevil's Screaming Head. As you can see, actually done pretty well. There is one little skin tone paint texture on here. You know, it's not bad at all. You have your little horns here, and those are actually pretty sharp, so pretty nice there. But has the open mouth. It's just all kind of like gray in there. I don't know if that's accurate to what the original, excuse me, to what the original figure was. Let me see this box. Oh. Is his mouth? It's kind of hard to tell, but at least the tongue is red. This one, they did not paint the tongue. It's just a flesh tone in there, so that should have been like a pinkish red. Or even, yeah. And then also, you can definitely tell, I think like the spray is a little bit more just on the face and then just painted over, but still overall, it works. Oh, nice little thing. And these ones, man, they kind of all kind of like, yeah, that plastic, it's a little bit of like of a marbleization going on there, but this one has a lot more of that dark. Or is it about the same? It feels like it looks a little darker, especially on the head color. Yeah, especially on the forehead. I think that, yeah, I think they added a little bit more contrast even compared to this. Yeah, so yeah, but that's just your gritting teeth head. Does also have a little paint bleed there onto the lips and then at the top of the mask part there. But still overall a good sculpt. I'm not gonna really complain too much. It looks like how it is, so not too shabby. Even though it would be nice to not have paint, but I have to remind myself, this is a third party. This is a copy of the official. So, you know, why not? Because when I can't find the Mafex and I don't really want to pay that price right now, I'm like, all right, I'll commit. I've been doing it for a bit. But there's his trusty batons. Very nice. They're just an all-white, basically stick sculpt. And then you have one, of course, that has the little loop there for the actual, I guess, like for the actual, like the wire. Yeah, that's kind of like in there. So that's pretty cool. So you're all white, very basic, but very, very cool. And then have your different holster options here. Okay, so you have one that is completely empty. It's just filled in there with all the red, but have your little ball joint there so you can switch them out with your other one there, which we'll look at whenever we get to the figure, but of course it's in there at the bottom. But then your second one comes with just the one with the little dangly on there, and then you just don't have the one to kind of have that look whenever he's holding one or the other, so he doesn't have to, you know, just have the other one there, unless he wants to have both. So, you know, not too bad. And then finally, we got this kind of like this hook kind of one. Kind of is on a wire too, and this is actually a pretty, yeah, this is actually a pretty good wire. I mean, you can go all the way out. So this is a pretty steady wire. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna probably compare to the actual Mafex, but you know, but not a bad wire, like at all. I'm gonna try to loop this back around. But look at that. That's just so cool. Just a cool little accessory to have, just to work out and have fun with. So pretty cool. How do I want to... All right, we're gonna try to get this back to its original form, as close as we can get. Yeah, if it's just kind of like a jumble up mess or not really that close, I'll be fine. But they do it so well, even with these third-party companies. It's like, God damn, how do y'all do this? It's like magic, like keeping it like that. This one they actually did tape down. They didn't tape down the previous one. Guess they wanted to make sure that this one wasn't actually going anywhere since it was so heavily on there. But yeah, but then essentially you get your same wire thing going on here with your two batons, but one isn't a hook. You just got your two sticks there. I don't know how they're able to do that. I guess like that, but no. Like packaging these, but this is like crazy long too. I kind of didn't realize how large this was. But this is a cool little thing. We'll definitely get him in some poses with this stuff and see how ridiculous we can get. But set them aside. For now, they're actually put back pretty decently. And then we'll finally get the man of the hour. The feet. Go by the feet. There's your plastic. There's your Daredevil. Hold up. Interesting. Bro. Honestly, okay, let's get him. Ram here. Hopefully he can actually support himself. But this guy, okay, this thing is actually pretty sick. I will say, just initially, just the look alone that I'm seeing. Surprised and impressed with actually how they're doing this. Because this figure feels solid. I was kind of worried. I was like, okay, let's see how this is. But getting it in your hand, in your face. Seeing what you can do. I don't want to stress my plastic out too much, but seems like it's like the ankles that are probably going to be my problem. The legs, not so much. Still like the feet. But this guy, though. Like, honestly, like, compared to the rest, like, this one actually feels like it has a bit of, like, I don't know. It feels like the plastic quality is just way better. It just feels a lot more solid. I'm not too scared of handling this guy. But this is not bad at all. I'm just trying to think. I don't know. It's just very interesting. Honestly, I'm not really a big fan of the Mafex anyways. The moment I saw that, I was kind of like, it just seems so skinny. But then, like, kind of like getting him in hand, I can see the musculature. I can see the actual quality, even if this is a CT Toys. But like, look at that, bro. Yeah, he can do that without a problem, even as a third-party version, or I guess bootleg, if y'all want to say. But I don't really say that with these ones because these aren't like bad. These are pretty good. Like, it can do this, and it's like, yeah, and I feel like it's not going to break on me. So yeah, so as a third-party figure, this is pretty solid execution. This is kind of what I expect a little bit more when it comes to quality. So it makes me actually think about, like, if that Hush Batman comes out, their Black Batman, if that might be worth, I don't know. I really like my Mezcos when it comes to DC. So I'm kind of like, oh, I'm good on that for now because I like that Batman a lot. But if they're actually like, okay, if they are like up in their game like this much, like this feels like super solid and kind of just very much more fresh. I can't imagine what future releases are gonna be like in the potential, because they've done like recolors and stuff. I think of some figures, and then there's even like a black and red version of this as well, so that looks great. But yeah, I just gotta say, yeah, they did the sculpt on this pretty well. You have your neutral head, yeah, that's packed in there, but you have those dark kind of shadows to the eyes, and then they're all red there as well. Have your horns there, still pointy, just all red around there. And then, of course, your all red costume with little, like, dark paint hits there, like on the neck, on the top of the chest, on your butterfly, and then like shoulders and arms, and maybe a little bit on the abs, and maybe on the thighs a bit, and even like right there apparently on the arm fully, to kind of break up your colors too, because I forget that this is also supposed to be a darker red with the lighter kind of like solid red gloves and boots. That's pretty cool with the the colors, and also like the art. Yeah, also like the sculpt on there that matches with the Mafex. So pretty good. And then still have the 2Ds on the chest and have those wicked abs. You have your little, actually like a belt piece right there. Little like thing, and then that goes sculpted down to go to his little holster for his batons, and you have both of them there. So he's packed in with the double, you get the single and the empty. So pretty cool. Pretty nice. And you have like some sculpted strap right there, and then of course the hang down piece. So pretty good, pretty nice. And then your feet, all their tiptoe-ness. But pretty solid. This is actually not bad at all. I'm gonna have to like work on him and get used to him, because I'm not sure if this will be my main display Daredevil when it comes to the other ones, but this guy might be real close though. It's gonna be a race at the top, because I do have that Secret Wars, the Marvel Legends Daredevil on pre-order. So we'll see whenever I get that in hand. Can I get this guy to just... Bro. There he is. A good kind of neutral pose. I always kind of struggle with Mafex a bit. Well, CT Toys even too. To get some neutral poses. I just always been a hard thing with these more import type figures. Because I do feel like his shoulders are also a little high. Maybe I think they need to be sunken down more, or even like pushed in more. I don't know. I feel like I want them more. I don't know. It's just something about the arms, I think. But it still looks great. Like, even especially like on camera, like you don't really see the problems that I see, I guess. But he looks pretty cool. Even just casually just standing there. He just looks like a badass. So it's cool. But we'll go ahead and go over our articulation at the head. Let's actually see how. You see that is taken off? Not too bad. Oh, I brought the whole neck with me. I don't want that. Oh. A little hard to get that head off, but have your little dumbbell joint there has a little notch there, and then have another dumbbell or ball at the bottom of the neck. So all that together can look up about that far, look down about that far, tilt side to side, do a 360. Core. Then at the shoulders, they're more of just like a cup. It's not like a butterfly joint, I don't think. So you can kind of go up, come down, but you can come forward whole bunch. And then go out about that much. So pretty nice. Pretty cool. And then make it a little tight on there, so I'll be careful. We'll do our other one where you have your shoulder rotation. A little squeaky. Bruh. Well, now this is squeaking, so now I'm getting nervous, but we're fine. We're fine. But then you have your shoulder. Yeah, your bicep swivel. A little tough too, but making it work. Have your double jointed elbow right there, pretty nice. And then, of course, at the wrist, and where he comes packed in with your two fist hands, you do have that ball, that ball joint there, so you can go in and out. Also go up and down. Best way I can show you. Going like that, or like that. Not bad at all. Oh, and also just full on just rotation. So pretty basic. But then at the torso, at the upper torso, I think you have a dumbbell joint there as well. So crunches back that much, crunches forward from the top. Not that much. Do a little bit of tilt, but get a little bit of side to side, but also a little hula hoop action if you want. So get them going. Not too bad. And then at the top, with everything, oh, well, then at the waist, there you do have another dumbbell. So we will get them going. Hey, Gabe. Welcome, bro. But we got Daredevil. He is crunching out that far. What's up? What's up, bro? It only goes back about that far. I kind of wish he would go a little bit more further. Like, I guess that would be your max. Well, you can do that. That's pretty crazy. What up, Gabe? Hope you're been doing well, brother. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. Just making it through. My back hurts, but we're messing with this Daredevil. Just been busy. Just been dealing with life stuff. But I saw Mario Galaxy. Just to give the update. Sorry I couldn't make it to your last stream. Oh, you're all good, Gabe. A Friday night is always kind of like, it's always like a difficult time. Because especially now, because more people are just out, I think, doing stuff, or other streams are going on. So we just chill. It's just for me to keep my schedule. And I'm like, every Friday. I've been doing this for like years, brother. Ain't stopping now. No one's stopping me. But such a cool freaking Daredevil. What else? I think we gotta. Oh yeah, we also have the rest of articulation. So our legs, kick forward about that far, kick back that far. Gabe says I pre-ordered the Haya Destroyer. Oh, nice. Yeah, that thing is a beast. Yeah, that guy looks really cool. I do have the Super 7 Destroyer, and that one is actually just fine for me, even though he's like huge, but it kind of works in my opinion. But yeah. Gabe says I literally can't wait. I can't wait for you. I have to get their Burning Godzilla. That's definitely reminded me of that I need to get a new Burning Godzilla, because I have the old my shelf one is my old my Bandai America one from like 2000 something. And so that one's just been on the shelf. It's a great figure. I don't mind it at all. I like it a lot. But then kind of like thinking about like the Haya one, because that is of course articulated and more realistic. It might even be a better size. I don't know what the size would be. It might be a little smaller. Well, no, it'd be pretty big though. Okay. So I don't know, but it'll be interesting. I think oh yeah, and then that also reminds me, I did want to also talk about this, that the Muto. Yes, I was about to just say that. Yeah, I also won the Muto 2-pack and the Warbat. Yeah, they look great. Yeah, the Muto the 2-pack is like finally. It's been what, over 10 years since that movie came out, and we finally get kind of like movie accurate kind of figures of them. The female one, like, we never really had before. We had just the Bandai, kind of like the vinyl as your male, but he's huge and doesn't even have his wingspans out. But then Haven't really done much with them. Good thing I never got the OG Hayamuto. I actually did. I got that Muto. I was not passing up. I think it was like there at one of my local, like my comic shops, and I was like, I'm getting that. Ain't no one stopping me. Give me that thing. But I don't regret it. Because it's cool to, yeah, that other female Muto in it. Yeah, she has like the egg kind of thing going on there with like her belly kind of like glowing. So that's like a cool, like a variation because we don't have that with the original one. So it is different. And then just having just the male one finally is just so nice. It's like, yes, we can finally have both of them look great. And to go with their amazing Godzilla figure. Because Haya has literally made like some of the perfect like Godzilla figures in my mind, in my opinion. I think they just look so good. Figure arts can still hit once in a while, but well, monster art specifically. I keep saying just figure arts because I just think about the whole brand as a whole. But with the monster arts, they've had a few bangers. I really like a lot of their Showa stuff, but anything else like besides that, I've been kind of like, it's fine. I get it, but like QC issues have just been a whole thing, and then just exorbitant prices that are just like not even like possible. Like it's been years since those prices has been like reasonable at all. So just stuff. A lot of little Godzilla talk, but Haya's killing it. All right, then we'll just go ahead. We'll do a simple little switcheroo here. So where we have the thing here. Oh yeah, I didn't even show that during articulation that this also rotates on that ball too. Can also come out. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even finish articulation. There's our double jointed knee. Pretty nice there. Whoop, getting a bit. Why is it getting stuck? Oh, it's coming out of the leg. Okay. What the hell? Doing that to this one too. There we go. And then at the feet, have your ball around there to rotate. You can also hinge forward, hinge back. So I can still do the whole thing where you can do it's like side to side on there as well. And then your toe articulation. Sorry if that wasn't seen. I was trying to look at it. There's your articulation there. What did Gabe says? Gabe says, have you seen the newer Daredevil show? I have not. I'm planning on binging it after it all comes out, honestly, because I just don't have the time right now to watch it. But I've seen like little things and people are posting, but I've been able to avoid any spoilers. But it'll be a bit, to be frank. Me neither. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, I'll catch up. I'll get there. Okay, but we're going to switch out his thing. So we'll have his first little alternate of his baton thing. So where we're going to also try, hands come out pretty easily. We'll give him just a holding fist hand. That goes on pretty well. And then we'll give him just our basic white baton. There you go. Try to get this guy. better like that where it's like more like in the middle, or is it better where it's more like that? It's decent. Not the best pose, but hold up. Trying to see. Can you get into a good pose? Can I get you there? I don't know. I'm just messing with it. I'm just being finicky, but there we go. It's just not going right now. That's not too bad for like a basic, I guess. Even probably be better if he did. Look at he does like a claw hand. That one's gonna be a little tougher. There we go. Bruh. Maybe? This is not. That's a little better. Or that's straight on. It's kind of like it's just blown out the camera because it's just so. Okay, I guess I'll just be standing there. Look at my stick. Whack. But he is kind of cool looking there. Got some swagger. Gonna try. We do want to switch out our heads. Those spikes can get you. Switch out our non. And then we're gonna give him the double baton. Now, what is the more accurate? Can do left or right, but I think it's usually left, and it should be facing the other way. All right. What heads to use? Do we want to use gritting or screaming? I think we'll just go straight up screaming. He is not having a good time. He is pissed off. Go beat up some dudes. That was a big snap. Honestly, this kind of actually looks better like this. Bruh. I will say this, yeah, this other grip hand does not grip the baton perfectly. Oh, look at that, dude. That's actually pretty badass. That's freaking sick, bro. That's pretty sweet. I don't care who you are, bro. This is just so cool. It's just a fun figure. All right. We're going to do last little switcheroo. I think we're going to go with, I don't know, what would be the, I guess my preferred would be to be with this. So we'll do this one first. Gabe says, I recently heard this song called American Pie. Oh, was that the like the really long one? Where the guy like talks about like I don't know. I forget what he talks about in that song. Like I guess like old rock and roll, rockabilly. Kind of dying off or something, whatever it was. That's it. I think I know what you're talking about, but no, I'm not sure. But I'm trying to figure out what to do with this. Maybe like that. Is that a bit too much? I think that's a little too much. It's just a lot of wire to work with. I mean, it's just like, I could probably get like more crazy with it, but his joints kind of all want to like to scrunch up. I just feel like that this is just like way too much wire. It's just a lot. It's a lot to work on. This feels like a whole cacophony. And I don't really know how I can get a good pose out of this. And they don't even give me like a reference. So I'm just like, what the heck do I do? Does this look accurate? Does this look realistic? No. The heck am I doing? I'm just trying to understand what's going on. Bruh. This annoys me like so much that I can't get this. There we go. There's like something. There's something there. I don't know if I can get it, but we'll try on our stand. See if it can at least support him while doing that. For him a little more to the right. Middle one definitely does not want to support the weight, but it's on there. It's not too bad. That's all right for now. That's still really cool. Look at him go. That's actually kind of sick. That's really cool. Oh. Then we'll do our kind of simple, our other baton thing. This little hook one. I think this one will have the gritting teeth. That head does not come off easy. Hold on, I got an idea with this one. Trying to also get this pose to freaking work and all this stuff to stay together. double-handed. Or he's like, deploy hook, and he just like throws it or something. I don't know. Might be better just one-handed. Just have to figure out what other hand. I guess we can use our splayed out hand. I can use that. Oh, they're really tight on there. I don't know if this is accurate to any kind of like actual real world physics, but it looks cool. And if I make it a little shorter. I don't think that's bad. That's not a bad thing going on there. That's not too bad at all. And this is the base one, so this one would actually have that one. Pretty cool. Pretty sick. Yeah, this is really awesome. Maybe we'll just keep them like that. That's still pretty cool, but just the regular baton works fine. Even just like that, just a simple. Still just ready to fight. All right. There we go. There we go. But not too shabby. If only this thing could not take up all the focus. There we go. But not bad. Not bad at all. This thing's actually pretty sick. What do we do now? So what's going to be our end pose? Because I do got to do my comparisons. Would probably prefer him with both of the batons. Just my thing, just for having for weapons and showing off sake. So double. Fix our leg. Take off that, put on our empty one. Pretty good. Just a pretty simple. I'm just standing there all pissed. But I'll probably put on the neutral. Just to keep our baseline. I'm just one of them guys. There we go. All right. Maybe we just do the full. Full basic kind of showcase. We'll still give him a little bit. Cool factor, his body keeps wanting to like run away from him, from being straight. I don't know. I just can't get him in a pose that I kind of like that's like neutral. I want him to be like more facing on, like being fully on freaking display, but my brain just can't do it right now. Because this guy just looks too kind of like busy to be doing that. There's just so much going on. All right, I think that's something. Yeah. Yeah. This dude's pretty cool. This guy's pretty neat. Not a bad figure at all, even for a third party, because this is the CT Toys. This is not the official Metacom. I know I keep saying it, but it's just CT Toys. It's their own. But this, honestly, probably is, I would say, probably their best one. Like, by far. I think there's one that's definitely second place, and then third, and then fourth, and then probably one more. Maybe it's just the four, I can't remember. But, in any case, this figure is super cool. I don't regret picking this up. If I got the figure arts, maybe, or yeah, like, or the actual like official, yeah, the Mafex, not the figure arts. This is Mafex, but well, it's CT Toys. I just keep saying it, but yeah, CT Toys, amazing quality. I feel like this is like almost on par, maybe with, maybe compare well with the other kind of like actual mainline ones better. I don't know. This seems like just more quality overall, even if I would say like really the main thing is really the paint on the faces is like the main complaint that I would really have. Also, if just that being loose, but that's a regular thing with any stands of any company sometimes. And then, you know, other than that, I'd say everything is pretty good. I think probably like some hands are going to be a problem to like put on or move, or like certain joints, like how this knee joint here was getting stuck at the top there because they were like sticking out, so I have to like push them back in. Yeah, but after I get my full range. So I don't know if that's a thing with the actual original body or not, so I can't really judge that too much. It's mainly the main thing on the shoulder here, because this is now like kind of stuck. This one is still floating, and this one was, but now it's kind of stuck there. I don't know, like something. I have to get this moving again. It's just so squeaky now. It didn't do it like that before, and I'm worried I'm going to be breaking this, so I got to stop touching it. before I do break it. Because I'll just heat it up and try to fix it. So yeah. There's our Daredevil. Oh, looking pretty sweet. Doesn't look bad at all. Just want to be finicky with it. Make sure this is exactly what I want. This is close. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Then we're going to clear off this table. Awesome accessories. Done very well. Then I will actually mute my mic. I will be back in a moment. And we're back. So, we're going to get on with our comparisons, how to just set up some stuff. We are going, so, of course, here's our CT Toys Daredevil. All his plastic glory. And comparing him with my two main kind of classic Daredevils on the shelf, we have the Mezco 112 Daredevil and the Marvel Legends. This is the what is it? What are they? Like the team where it's like him and the other, like the street heroes, where it's him, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. What the heck? the Defenders. So this is the Defender set with the retro card head there, and then with a RTX project accessory little thing. Has the mask down there, and then also has the custom batons there. They are smaller, but they're just nicer quality. So I just put them in there anyways. So pretty cool. And then of course this Daredevil, a lot more armored up, has like that pleather kind of look, but has that armor kind of helmet there, which is kind of cool. So yeah, so these look pretty good. Not bad though. I would probably say I think this one's my favorite. Already, I can just say it. I think I want to try this head and this head on this body. Maybe some of the batons, but I do like the all white batons. That is kind of more classic. So we're gonna take off his head. Take it off of this guy's head. We can get in with the little accessory piece. So first we'll try on the Mezco. I can already tell it's gonna be way too big, but just for fun. Not half bad, just makes him look bulkier. He's got a big head. That's still Daredevil. Of course, it's more armored up, so it doesn't really match, and I think the plastic is a little bit more purplish, but in like some angles, like this angle, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But that's actually pretty badass. So that's going to be an alternate head I'll be using. What the heck? This is so badass. Cool. Glad that works. Because honestly, these ones aren't my totally favorite, but you know, but then we'll have the unmasked little thing. So it sits on there as snug as it can. And just pop on the Marvel Legends, and admittedly that one is pretty big. I think this one is huge. Kind of envelops the neck, especially if you do. Because if I just do just that, yeah, that's like way too big for this body. I do like this though, so maybe I can do this one. The little mask on there. It doesn't really match up too much. It's kind of like an orangey type thing. It kind of actually matches this like pretty well. What if I can grab the Mezco and get that head? So I got the little Daredevil baggie there. I do have that Matt Murdock head, so that might actually work better for this. Maybe. Because this one does have the kind of smaller, a little bit more realistic unmasked head. Though I do wish he was just a straight up red head. He's kind of just like brown haired dude. Like maybe is there a little bit of red? No, it's just brown. But in some cases, like this is accurate, but this just doesn't feel. All right, Matt, get your head over here. It just doesn't feel kind of like of this era. Even with this helmeted one, it felt a little bit more still because it's just that whole red thing, and it kind of actually makes more sense to have the head armored. But if you still want to move, like have the rest, not for now. But this ain't too bad. I think I'll definitely try something different, see what's out there. So, I don't know. See what's going on. But yeah. What's next? All right, we're gonna take this off, this back on. stuff out of here. Oh yeah, I also did want to see. I did forget something. And this head would work. The original for this body. We'll do that real quick. Ooh. I mean, look at that. Honestly, not too bad there either. It's just still like a bit light, a bit orangey with that red. But I do like the very dark eye lines with the very red eyes, so it looks alright, but I could use maybe a custom head or something at some point too. That would be cool. But still, like this standard one, it just like it. Yeah, they all work pretty well because you know it's just Daredevil. It's just easy. He's right there, but companies just sometimes can't get him just right. But this is pretty darn close. All right. Next, got some more of the Marvel Legends. So I've grabbed like every Daredevil I have that I can think of, or that I've looked for. Where we have our first appearance, Daredevil, the original Walgreens exclusive. That is on the Bucky cap body. So this is old. Like this is like, what? Where are you? This was 2012, which is insane. And then have your other one, 2018, your kind of like your black and red look there. So where I think this is where he's in charge of the hand ninjas or something, or maybe that's just another specific look. I think it is. I don't think it is just this, but it's probably close. Oh yeah, and then his is all actually messed up. His horn is misshapen. I haven't heated that up. And that was like recent. I was like, what the heck? But haven't had time. But then there's Daredevil. Good old Daredevil. Would like some updates. Even on this guy would be cool. Maybe even CT Toys does a recolor of this body, but with this look over here, because that would be pretty cool. I would like a first appearance Daredevil on this mold. That would be cool. I gotta like center this better. There we go. Cool. And next, have our last couple of Daredevils. Have your retro carded version, where it's the armored Daredevil. A design that I was not familiar with, but when they released the figure and I saw it, and I was like, this is badass. I was kind of hesitant, but I was like, no, this looks sick. I'm buying this. And then we have the original Marvel Legends Netflix Daredevil. I have not opened the new one yet. We will probably be doing that at some point. I'm thinking of doing him and Punisher at the time the finale comes out, which I think is like 2 months ahead of us. So I think it is, or like a month. It's gonna go through like the whole month or whatever. But yeah. Then keeping with the Netflix for a moment, have the Matt Murdock from Spider-Man. What was the last one? It's Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. So that's what it was, I think. Because then the new one is a Brand New Day. And it's like, okay, we're just doing Spider-Man's with subtitles. But I guess I get it. But I do want to try this Matt Murdock head on. Just to see the potential. Not the greatest. It just styles just don't work. I think that what they've been doing and what they are doing now, I think it's fine. We don't need the expendex. It's just, it's just Daredevil. You don't gotta get complicated. But they do look badass though. So definitely gotta open up those versions at some point soon. Maybe sooner than later. I don't know if I'll wait until like the finale, like I think I planned on. How I have it like scheduled out. Gotta get that algorithm, brother. But that's why we're doing Daredevil here now too. It felt like Daredevil time. I've had him for a while. I think I literally got him at the start of the new year, or like end of the year. So I've been waiting to open him. I've been waiting. He just looks so cool. He looks so badass. Alright. Now, we're going to do our other comparisons, getting with some CT Toys. Coming up over here. So here we have... have their brown suit, Wolverine, and their Gambit from X-Men. Both of them based off of their Mafex counterparts, but where Wolverine is, where Wolverine actually loses a bit of hype, but it's honestly so cool. You have the Gambit figure there. Yeah, this is really cool. This is really fun. These are so badass. Yeah, the Wolverine's great. Gambit's alright. He's not perfect. It's mainly with the jacket, I think. I just don't like that too much, like how they did that, but I get it. It's a third party. I don't really expect the highest of quality, but not too bad. It's still alright. I just gotta get with it, because it's kind of loose, especially with the wrist, and that kind of sucks a bit with it. Oh, with Wolverine, he's kind of fine. He just kind of paint scratches himself. I think he's a little stiff, so kind of like you got to be a little careful, but it's still all right. Still feels pretty bearable. I mean, it's not like he's gonna like break in like a second. He still feels pretty solid, and he looks great. So yeah, it grows. the collection grows. And we'll do our one other CT Toys included with this crew. The CT crew. Have the... How do I want to get him in this frickin' shot? He's so frickin' tall anyways. Here we have the CT Toys across the Spider-Verse Spider-Man 2099. Is it across or is it beyond? I forget what it is. Because there's Into the Spider-Verse and then Across the Spider-Verse, and then it's going to be like Beyond the Spider-Verse or whatever, or it's just going to be like Across, like Part 2, whatever, but there's all four. He's a little iffy. His plastic is fine. He's just kind of hollow feeling because this is based off of the SH Figure Arts, but shrunken down because dude was huge and it's fine. It's fine at this size. He's bulky as hell. I don't mind him at all. And he's huge next to the rest of the figure. Like, he towers over everyone. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Give me that. But pretty cool. Nice little setup. Good kind of seeing the evolution of CT Toys. Daredevil, I think right now, like their peak. It just looks basically one-to-one with the original figure in some cases, but, you know, with mainly when it comes to like the paint, I think on the face, that's like the main thing. And then with some little plastic things here and there. But overall, it's a solid figure. This is just a cool ass figure. All right, let's get on. Get him back in the middle. Bruh. I gotta just stop touching it, but I can't help myself. I'm like, bruh. All right. Here we go. So now comparing with two official Mayfex figures. Have the Spider-Man version 2. Kind of the more, or kind of like, or this is like version 4, whatever it was. But this is the the SH Figure Arts. I can barely get them to stand, and then this one is the Mayfex. Oh wait, yeah, they're both Mayfex. Well, can you just stand up without looking ugly? I just hate that, like, his legs are all ugh. Only way I can get him like to stand up straight. Have his legs out. There we go. And this is with a PVC Big Shot Spider-Man 95, I think it is, where it's the animated series head. But I think it just looks so well with the regular head that is kind of like my classic Spider-Man. And this is like my Avengers kind of Spider-Man look that I have for him. Where he's like, where I see him as like a little bit older, but still has that very bright costume. But now I'm finicking with him, and now he won't go back to normal. Bruh. Alright. Spider-Man. Brother is always got them hips going. Bruh. There we go. That's a Spider-Man. There we go. And you need to look way better. Man. Sorry, I'm trying to get this hand to work with me. Yeah. Look at those guys. But having like this crew, or like even like this crew, like this is pretty sick. They look great together. They look awesome. Then do another Spider-Man and then get on with another Marvel character that this character has frequent but many times, and then this actually trio has a little name. I think it's just like literally it's either Red Team or Team Red or whatever. But you got but I got the Marvel Legends, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack from, and then have the Marvel Legends Comic-Con exclusive Deadpool from the Deadpool and Hydra Bob thing there. Kind of like my classic Spider-Man on my main Spider-Man shelf. Because it just looks so damn good, brother. And these two together with him, honestly, not that bad. This is your Red Team here. It looks so badass. Even could do, switch this one out. Throw in this one again. And that's not too bad. Ooh. Might be a little tricky because actual Mayfex kind of just stand awkwardly. But here's your Red Team there. Pretty neat. Have they made a Mayfex? Yeah, have they made like a Daredevil? Like a Deadpool, I mean. I don't think so, but we'll kind of see. But now continuing on with more of Daredevil's specific kind of lore and kind of like a level. We got some hand ninjas, some of these ninjas. Just a couple. Just to show off. And they're pretty alright. Like, you can probably get a good fight scene out of these guys, or even if you have, you know, the black suit version of this, have them like surrounding and kind of like in charge of these guys. So possibilities there. Pretty cool. All right, then next, with other heroes that are kind of on Daredevil's level, in my mind, at least that they're all, yeah, these are all like displayed with him. So I'm going through my heroes first, and then we'll get on to like kind of his bad guys / villains, or kind of like doubles in some cases. So okay, I'll do this. Okay, so first, gonna have my Marvel Legends, kind of like my own classic Punisher here, and then the Mezco blade there, minus the fuzz. Yeah, but this Marvel Legends, Punisher. Been like this for a while. This is one of the, I think this was just like the retro card one that had like the red bandana, but then I also had the Walgreens, and that's this head. And then I had the Thunderbolts one with the red. Yeah, that was like early Hasbro of having the property, I think. And them not doing so great. So it's that jacket piece from that figure on that kind of like that old retro kind of body there. And then with the Mezco, the Dark Knight, the Dark Knight Returns sniper from the Mezco Batman. Or that's the blue and gray suit with the yellow. Or it came with this. And it's pretty good. That's a pretty good crew there. I do say so myself. Blade is not screwing around there. All right. Had to take a quick water break. I could like barely even talk for a second. I was like, what the heck is going on, bro? All right. Coming up, we got the Marvel Legends Luke Cage. His Power Man's kind of more specifically. Look there, and then you have Jessica Jones and her, I forget what this form of her or what costume it was. I just call her Jessica Jones because she's all what I got. It would be nice to maybe get an updated version of this, or even get her more modern look from comic form. I know she'd be just a lady, but like something. Give us something, y'all. Then we might as well just get good old Danny in here. Get our crew. Okay. So this would be my crew at the time. I definitely need to get new versions of these. Yeah, the Iron Fist especially need to be seen. Oh, way to get through. Yeah, because this original one is still pretty alright. It holds up for now, but it's definitely showing its age. He looks like so skinny. And just so small compared to the rest. He just needs the upgrade. I like the overall design, and I love like the effects with the hands still, because it still works, but just kind of like, all right, you can finally probably do something really good with Iron Fist. It would be nice. And even with Jessica, you did all right with Luke Cage. I know people have problems with this figure, and I think that they're valid, but I'm like, I don't really care that much. It just looks good. It feels good. It's not the greatest. It comes for like range and articulation and really that much, but that doesn't really bother me. It looks great. It feels great. Way better than these. Yeah, she's barely even standing, and he is too. He has duck feet though, so they kind of help. How good is Luke Cage? Okay, I will say it is that annoying. Yeah, that his skin is showing through his jacket. Sorry, I'm messing with the Luke Cage. I was like, how good is he actually? He's actually pretty decent. I like him a lot. He's pretty cool. Alright. The next, going with two of our spooky dudes, but they're kind of on his level. We got Moon Knight. And we got Ghost Rider. These guys all look pretty good together, especially the Moon Knight with Daredevil. I mean, very classic costumes. Just look so cool. Looks so good. So it's nice to see that. And then this is the original the Rhino Wave Ghost Rider. That's been that's been like more than like 10 years ago. The heck? 2015. Over 10 years ago. This is like a perfect Ghost Rider. Yeah, they just didn't make it pinless yet. But kind of like, what the heck? This thing is so good. It's got the chain, and I just have him holding it instead of like on his thing, but I didn't notice that it actually does have that blue kind of hint. I thought it was just more grayish, but there is that bluish kind of tint to the white of the thing there. So it is kind of a classic, I guess, but more modernish, more realistic in some case, or just more exaggerated. But he looks so cool. Cool. But definitely interested in probably their new one that actually comes with the cycle. Because that retro card is pretty sick. Oh, well, not the retro card. It's just a retro look with the blues. Yeah, with the whole, like, the red kind of motorcycle, the spikes and everything. So it's cool because they did that in the 3-inch scale. So, of course, they were going to do that in the 6-inch. Just makes sense. Make your money, y'all. But pretty cool. And then, and then, of course, this Moon Knight. Pretty good, but would be good to get a pinless. Get a more updated one. Would be cool. It looks great. And then gonna get on with our one kind of like double up of a character, but a different version that that I think still works and kind of like in that frenemy kind of thing a little bit more, and then kind of like transitioning to enemy in some ways. So we got Daredevil, or we got Punisher. Again, that's Daredevil. This is the Punisher. This is like the the biker version. Yeah, the riders. Pretty neat. Pretty cool. Have Elektra from one of the, I think it's from the Robot Spider one, the SP-DR. Definitely need to get updated version of her. At some point. But this Frank is actually pretty good. It's actually pinless on the arms, not on the legs though, but you know what? I don't mind that too much with this one because you're not really going to see him too much, but it just looks so badass. It's that more modern, but it still kind of works a bit with this type of Daredevil. And then the Elektra actually works pretty well with him. But but I need to get come on, a new one in the red. Would be nice. You did the white. You have the body. You're just sitting on it. So let's get to it, y'all. Now moving on with our full-on villains. Of course, can have your Daredevil. Without your Bullseye. And man, do these two actually work super well together. This Bullseye is still like the best that we got right now. We do have that new one from the from the 2-pack where it's him and the blood-looking dude. Like the white mask with the red blood, the blood thing on his face. But, and I don't know if I'll be getting that set because I don't really care too much for that character, and then this one I kind of still like. I just want a classic one of this again, at some point maybe. And then we have, of course, Kingpin. You gotta be there, bro. You're the dude. Kingpin looks so good. I don't think anyone's gonna be topping this for a moment. But this is the retro card. Now he's humongo. But it works. They still work. They look great together. They look cool. Especially with Bullseye. It's still great. Just need my tits. Alright, and then on to our last kind of few comparisons. So this one is our last comparisons with anything Marvel related, but kind of like still like his other more villains or kind of rivals or just other things that he's interacted with. Just a couple silly ones, but ones that kind of make sense in my brain. Yeah, that they would cross paths more often than not, especially with the modern context. But gonna be doing Frogman, because of course, why wouldn't he? I think he's also technically also a Spider-Man villain as well, but you know, do what y'all can. Which is so weird seeing just the white eyes. Like, what the hell is going on in there? This dude's insane. He's got a badass costume, but what the heck? And then there's our favorite. I wonder who this is. Ooh. Stuntman. Oh. The frog is down. Frog is flabbergasted. Can this stand? I highly doubt it. Even with just 2 legs. There's your best. Probably won't last for long, but he's there. There we go. That's decent for now. Oh. Up, and away. Spilt man. Oh. And then our final comparisons with a little bit of bias right now because of Turtle stuff. And also just for comparison's sake, because TMNT was kind of more based off of Daredevil in a lot of elements and stuff. So, and they're all like kind of like connected. So here's the NECA Mirage Michelangelo. The NECA cartoon Raphael. And then the movie, we'll put him over here, Leonardo. What the? So there they are, all your different turtles. Yeah, I think the Mirage one might kind of work better. I don't know. Or even like the cartoon one is probably more closer to comic booky. But I don't know. Maybe the I do always think about the Usagi Yojimbo versions. Yeah, that NECA just like released recently. I haven't seen those yet, so I'm not really sure. I'll have to like see, because I think they look great. I think they look awesome. So I don't know if those would go with the Legends line or not. Why am I thinking of that? I just want them to just have them for their own line because they look great. But where could they be integrated more into just other shelving? I guess I don't know. Or just crossover. I love crossovers. They're so ridiculous and fun, but they're just awesome. All right. Well, there we are. There we have it. Our live stream unboxing is now done. So we'll be putting up all of our guys back here. See what I can do first. I guess I'm first going to be doing all my Daredevils. A lot of red going on. Not too bad. Who should be next? Get Stiltman in there real quick. Kingpin back here. Who goes behind him? Who do I feel more important? Okay, I'll put the Spider-Mans. Over here on the right. Alright, the next. Who do we do? Who do we do? Who do we do? I think we do. What do we do here? And we'll get Gambit out of here too. Too bad this Gambit doesn't want to stand for the life of him. There we go. And we'll put Spider-Verse over there. Really, this Spider-Man cannot handle him either. Do you feel him, sir? That's fine. Hold on, I'm trying to get this figure to just stand. $20.99 might be $29 goodbye. $20.99 goodbye. Or like 20 goodbye. Can you not be miserable? You're miserable. Alright. That figure. Spider-Man $20.99 is not going to make the cut. He's being the worst. Bruh. do, what do I want to do? I want to do him, which would actually be a better character to do anyways. So we're going to do that. Hold on. Who's next? Who's next? We'll do Helios. We'll get Spider in there. He can just be in the back. We'll put our Deadpool in there. We'll put another Spider-Man in there. There we go. All right. Get some actual hand ninjas in here. Electra. I guess I can just bring in the. I can just do. I'm gonna do frickin'. Hold up. Get Blade in here. Luke Cage. Get Moon Knight all the way back here. Then we'll get Bullseye in here. And there we go. What the heck? All right. A couple more. We can probably get in, maybe. Possibly. Maybe one. He's got to get an Iron Fist in here. You can say back here with Moon Knight. I'm gonna. That'll be all I can fit. Maybe I can get a turtle in here, a Ninja Turtle. I don't think you can even see him. So whatever. Maybe we'll get Mr. Frogman. Look at that setup. This is insane. I still want to get, like, Mikey in here, but I don't know how I can do that. Maybe I can move Blade back or move him forward. Probably wouldn't want Blade more forward. Maybe I just gotta remove Spider-Man. No, he stays. He's another great Spider-Man. We'll just put him behind Punisher. You won't see him, but just know he's there. You can see his little... Oh, man, that was close. You see him there. There he is. He looks so great. Let's do this. We're going to move this Spider-Man. We're going to put this turtle. Let him right in there. Where you don't even see him, but you know he's there, and I do. See him a bit. Bro. Alright. I guess he will not be seen. We're going to take out that other Spider-Man. Sorry. Bro. Well, what if I do... Not here. You here. Spider-Man there. The turtle out here. This body's all screwed up again, but you know. Bro. I'm just trying to sneak in characters as well as I can, and I am failing immensely. Especially ones, you know, who have giant friggin' coats, so it's stupid that I'm even trying it anyways. Cause like, might as well just move it, brother. Always happens. I'm always meticulous. I want to block Blade. Blade's a freaking badass. You can't block him. Move Electra in a bit more. I'm gonna move Some things are around. Go. Come here. That almost fell off the freaking table. Nothing broke, thankfully. Oh, Frogman has taken out everyone back here. What the heck? Stop doing that. Frogman, don't do this to me. Oh, get your privileges taken away. Is this on the Doc Ock body? It is. Totally forgot about that. Well, it makes sense because he has the backpack that has the things on him. There we go. Feeling pretty good. Okay. Back to this. Bring you in. Want to bring in Iron Fist? Or no, we'll do Spider-Man first. Use Spider-Man. Well, he might be our freaking. Hold on. Spider-Man. I'll put. We're gonna put Jessica Jones back here then, so that she matches more up with Luke Cage. Even though you're not gonna see her, but I don't think you really were seeing her before anyway, so I'm not gonna worry too much. Pretty nice there. Moon Knight is, I think, pretty secure here. Ben Riley, I don't think ever really got with him, so you can just stay back there. And then for continuing our Daredevils, our second row, so we got that Daredevil. That's my 3. So then one more, and then another one. So then I then should do. What should I do? You know what? I'm actually going to do something. Move Gambit back here. I'm going to put Frogman actually up here. It just makes more sense that way. Character hierarchy in some case. Because you go to Wolverine more likely in the back. So. Iron Fist makes sense here. Do I do that? Do that and then do that? but I don't know how practical it might be. It might be just, this is the one. Our Ninja Turtle. My Deadpool. And then we got Scarlet, who can just sit. I'll just stand right there instead of being a nuisance like he is. All right. I think this is it. Still got a couple characters I can get on here, maybe. I'm gonna get Ghost Rider in the back here. He's like barely even here. I mean, that's better. He's like barely back there. You can barely even see him. Probably prefer getting Spider-Man 2099 if I can. He's a CT Toys. Well, my 4. He's a big guy, so he can do pretty alright. That'll help standing. So there we go. So I think that is it. Get right there. There we are. All right. I think that is it for our stream. But yeah, of y'all who are here near the end, if you got any questions or want to see anything, feel free to let me know. Probably be going for about a couple more minutes or so. do got a plug. So, thank y'all for those who are watching. Thank you for the 3 likes. 3 people who did that here during the live. Appreciate it. But be sure to like the video, like the VOD here afterwards, you know. Helps a lot. And then subscribe to the channel. We're at like 320 subscribers, so we're doing pretty alright. We're doing pretty good. Not bad at all. And then the shorts have been killing it, as usual. Thank y'all so much. Latest one with the Super Mario Galaxy figures got like 1,000. So that's really cool. But yeah, but this is a nice showing for CT Toys. Nice to get a new Daredevil into the collection. So I think this was definitely worth it. Maybe I would have enjoyed to get the actual Mafex. Probably more likely. Maybe. I don't think I'll actually get it, but if I did, I probably would have known about this and I would have liked it probably even more. But I think that this CT toy still works. I think it looks great. So this might be my main display. Daredevil. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. Check out the Instagram, Justin the Zilla. Should have a new picture hopefully by the 20th of this month. So look forward to that in like 10 days. Wow. So, but yeah. I don't remember anything else on the list. Next week live stream. Probably gonna be a bit earlier. I'm pretty sure I do work next Saturday. So yeah, not tomorrow, thankfully, but it'll be this coming one. So see how that goes. See how my back's doing by that time. I'm doing all right now, but you know, getting sore after a while. But yeah, hope y'all have enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in, and I shall see y'all in the next one. Be good. Be cool. Goodbye.